Getting kicked into a well is
30
the least
seconds
of
until
your
minions
worries.
spawn.
Getting kicked into a well is the least of your worries.
Okay, so he shouldn't have been walking in that direction anyway. He should have been walking this way. That's actually pretty relevant for your lane. I don't even know if I would have bothered recalling with only missing that much HP. What the hell is he doing? So it looks like they're planning an early blue invade. You should know something is up as soon as their support's not showing up in lane. And where does your guy go? Did he even show in lane? So he doesn't even show up to lane. You should know something's up because he should have bought and been back to lane by now. So that's pretty unfortunate for your lane. As soon as that happened, just start shoving your lane. I'd even start autoing these. But you are doing that, so. Random spear. Okay, so you took a decent amount of damage, but you traded it back. Kind of. Could throw this ward over the wall so you don't expose yourself and you don't show where your ward is. And then it gets you into nice play patterns for later because he won't know if you left lane or if you're just going to ward. Okay, so he left lane in vision of you, so you should know he's heading for that, but he's overcommitting to that kinda. So you roam up and you're just like, I don't know what this dude's doing, I'm going back to lane. You're probably thinking, did he have connection issues? But no, you've probably seen him recalling, or next to Moonmoose recall in your mini-map at least. Okay. So Pantheon is still not back at lane now. They both disappear off this way. They're either gonna gank you or they're going for a movement. So I think you read this pretty well. Just kind of farming. You could have higher farm and not like even use any mana though, if you just auto attack more. So it seems to me like they would have recalled by now. That's what I would have thought. There's no way in hell that guy should be sitting there that long. You're already level 5 and he's still level 3. So now Mumu's asking for your help because they're still over there. This is like really bad. Nice red steal. Okay. And you get to kill. So now that you have level advantage, you went right in for the play here. Then you autoed the minion. I'll give you that one. Should have probably autoed him. and then autoed him again here. If you're gonna Q, throw the auto out after, at least. If you stay in melee range, he probably wins that with Ignite, but if you had thrown a couple more autos down on him, then he's probably about like here. Alright, let's go back to the start of this. How much HP does he have? 729. And how much do you have? 813. If you notice though, you should have, well actually no, base magic resist is pretty high. So never, I take that back. He'll do more damage relative to you most of the game, so. Right here though, he's only got 478 HP, so if we compare that to your health bar, 1, 2, 3, he's about right here. Yeah, I think those extra autos would have helped you a lot, so that's what you need to work on there, is throwing auto attacks out, especially if you have a red buff. You could have easily killed him there. But yeah, specifically since he went Hex Drinker, that's kind of odd in general. Normally you would see that in super high elo, but it's not that common to go Pantheon mid anyways, so. You're standing way too far up here. And this just looks like you right clicked him and just walked forward the whole time. You got 3 levels on him, you could probably blow through his Hex Drinker. Or if you turn onto Nid, you can probably finish him off instead of flashing here. You could have E'd through both of them and then ult comboed the Nidalee, he would have died. At least you got the return kill though, so. We shouldn't have been doing that, but Shen bails him out a little bit. I think you should have went this way. You were like all the way up here, and then you would have got here quicker. Yeah, if you were there a split second sooner, you might have been able to save the Moo. And then when Nid was that low, you might have been able to kill him, so. You were like over respecting the Renekton, like the Nid's not gonna instant kill you, nor is Renekton. Right here, you dodge the spear, and then you're like, alright, I'm out. Walk over here and put pressure on this Nid. Turn on Renekton if he starts killing you, and then turn back on to Nid. Like, you gotta pay attention to the levels. If you'd been standing right here, Q him and he's dead, basically. So then Shen has to blow his flash because you didn't do any damage. And it ends up tracking him down with the spear, so. I already watched most of this game. So I'll just give you my overall impressions. This isn't going to be like my first reaction to the game. That grave splash though. So he got greedy for the Lux kill there. And flashed right into Q. Normally I would say you shouldn't even be pushing that into tower. You should just freeze it and then wait for him to come out to you so you can combo him, but he's spending so little time in lane that's actually correct what you're doing. So oh yeah, I probably should have rearranged these. Okay. So you got the nice pick there. I'll go back and watch it. That was like all of Mumu. So you got, he shouldn't have used his ult there, but you got the nice stun off as well. So at this point it's almost like Nid is the mid laner. And a quick note on your itemization, since Pantheon has been roaming so much, I probably would have stopped at Cloth Armor and not gone Seekers. Then you would have got your Morellonomicon, or Morello's a lot quicker. Used to be called Morellonomicon. Is that what it's called now? I don't even fucking know anymore. Yeah, so it is almost like Pantheon is jungling. His build is really bad, so he doesn't have like damage. Okay, so you can't really do too much about that. The only thing you could have done better would have been maybe to gank before Pantheon has an opportunity to come down, but they executed that really poorly. And I think you get the tower here. Yeah, so this is the right move after what happened. So you go back, pick up the Morellos, and the only other thing I didn't like is that you didn't pick up boots anytime. You could have picked up your first pair of boots at least, and then you wait until your Zhonya's is completed to finish your penetration boots. So the outplay by Mumu and Pantheon's flash is down, so right here at this point you should just go roam bottom. And you're wasting time a little bit up here trying to get the fancy ward off. You should have just walked this way, warded, and went straight to bottom and ganked. You're like 10 seconds behind where you should be. I don't think you should have flashed that. If he landed the Q, then you should have flashed that, but since he didn't land the Q, you should have just taken the damage. That's the time you want to flash, is when you have that little mark above your head. Now since you don't have it, you die. Okay, so Shen's holding mid for you basically, so at this point, if you see him mid, you can almost automatically start heading bottom. You should just be roaming in this time. And you already know Pantheon's been roaming a lot this game, so you want to try and match that. You already got his tower down, so what you can do is throw a ward down somewhere in here, so you know when he's going back to lane. And that way you stay like 2 steps ahead of the game. So that movement ult was nice, but it was probably bad time to do it. Yeah, so he's overstepping his bounds. But you should have came down a lot sooner here. Like, let's say, even if you don't spot it right away, just come down as soon as you see it. You're gonna sell your team out for 5 minions. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Takes you 5 seconds from the time channels his ulti. If you were 5 seconds further, you would all of a sudden be in range to get all these kills. You could come around the back, and your team could easily dive with these health bars. Especially since you're like 5 kills. You should be looking at Pantheon knowing that you match up to him exactly in kills, but you have way more CS than him, like 50 more, so you're actually ahead of him by like 500 gold, so I would expect it to be more than that, honestly. The only reason he's keeping up in gold is these 2 towers to year 1. So instead of getting all those kills, you guys only get dragon. But if I remember correctly, Nid actually steals this one. Yep, you guys didn't have a Mumu, so should have controlled that objective better or not done it at all. And you're not farming jungle enough. Oops. Okay, so I did remember that that was coming. I just didn't hit pause quick enough. Okay, right here. See how Pantheon's on your side of the lane? He's never gonna stun a Mumu if he doesn't have backup. So you have to assume that he's got backup with that kind of a stun. Since you didn't expect Nidalee, you take the spear that was meant for a Mumu, and Nid just insta kills you. So as soon as you got speared, you should have walked backward. Right here, just walk backwards. Instead, you like walk up and try and combo Pantheon. You should have been near your tower. That way, if he jumps on you If Nid jumps on you, then you can kill him. Or you're simply out of range so he can't actually close distance. Yeah, also, if you're gonna take Amumu's blue so much, just make sure to take his jungle too. You need to play a little bit more selfishly. Your CS numbers could be a little bit higher. Even though you've already got like a 40 CS lead on that guy, he's basically never farms. Yeah, so you shouldn't have gone for blue right then and left Amumu to defend your tower. You should have just been defending your tower. You didn't really need to get blue there. And you're basically not setting up your Amumu for success, so by proxy, you're not having success. And instead of like using this blue buff to team fight, you're just using it to hold the tower now. So you want to try and time your buffs around team fights. Someone on your team needs to be dealing with this too. Like, your bottom lane can't be getting pushed up like that for free. I like the fact that you're going top here to punish the same thing on the other opposite side of the map, but you also need to pay a trip to bottom lane every once in a while. Fade away grab. What the hell is that Lux doing? That guy is fucking on cloud 9 right now. Same for that guy. Tech Boss 2000. So you should basically be focusing Nid because he's got like full AP items. That shit is ridiculous. You guys are standing on a ward with Amumu, so all your cards are basically already out. You shouldn't even think about contesting that dragon probably until Amumu goes back to base and gets his ultimate back. Nid with no mana is better than Amumu with no mana. They didn't really put a lot of focus on this. If they catch you doing this with almost no mana on Amumu though, that's bad. Yeah, this is gonna be a slaughter for them. Not as one-sided as I thought it would be, but Dragon is not worth that kind of a team fight. You guys can take decisive team fights with the Moo. Giving up 4 for Dragon is never worth it. So somebody should have called that off on your team. Randomization at this point is fine. I like it. Umu gets caught out for no reason. You guys just really need to be using Shen to split push. You need to get this tower. You need to get this tower. And he's capable of doing that on his own. All you guys need to do is have like 4 here. And have him ready to ult at all times. So like, then if he starts pushing up, he's guaranteed to get that tower. Then after he gets top tower, he can go bottom and do the same thing. But it basically relies on him having his ult off cooldown. I can see why he wouldn't be able to push against Renekton with Titanic Hydra though. And maybe he wasn't worried about it, but you guys really just need to get these outer towers. Nice.
Blue team double kill.
You should have just like grouped up with your team at some point and pushed down the tower. They keep getting this pressure on you guys at mid for like no reason. It might be because you're pushing the wave back too quickly. So in times like that, just let the wave freeze somewhere back here and then go make your team an issue in other places. There's no reason that they should be able to siege better than you guys. I mean, like, you guys should be able to defend against them. They're fairly short ranged. But yeah, you can fix this by being proactive and catching people out. So you should have just committed to one of those guys instead of trying to get both there. And now you guys want dragon, but some of you guys want to go top, so jeez. You're getting so many of these blues, but you haven't team fought with it once. Okay, so you actually got that one stolen.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Bumu's getting caught out again for no reason. He built Frozen Heart, which is probably not the right call. In this situation, he should have like a lot of health, not Z-Route Portal. This guy should be building nothing but health, but he's building nothing but armor. Oh boy. Oh boy, this is a moo-moo. So you should basically expect nothing out of your team. But you have to be the main carry presence, just like one-shotting people. I don't know why he TP'd to that. That didn't make any sense. Unfortunate that you knocked him out of the Shen taunt. I don't really know why you guys are trying to fight that 2v or however many anyway. Your team was just over here way too late. Like, you gotta know that you're alone and not overstep your bounds. Seemed like you were trying to hard carry that a little bit too hard. And Graves did work though. He's dead though.
Blue team double kill.
So you're just not playing with your team enough. As worthless as they are, you have to play off of your team. Actually, Graves is pretty fed too, so you should like focus on his play patterns in this situation. If anyone's going on to him, focus his targets. Alright, so right off the bat, you guys are in a bad situation. Amumu's all the way down here, so if Amumu's ever over here, you need to not be over here. You need to be anywhere over here. That's just getting caught out, like, this is basic stuff. Maybe that was caused by a lack of wards, but mostly it was like Amumu's fault and your guys' fault combined.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
That dragon doesn't even really matter.
Blue team slain the dragon.
Yeah, overall I think you could have carried this game. Right now it seems like it's a little bit too late for you to do that much, but roaming when I was saying to roam and auto attacking more when you're dueling people, that stuff matters. There's no point in you going up there if Graves is already going up there. Try and figure out where he's going and go somewhere else. Like, farming, grouping to farm doesn't make any sense. You should be grouping after you farm. Mumu's just like, what do I do now? And as a win condition for you guys, I noted that you needed to take these towers. You guys never actually got around to taking them down. So this is a huge deal because it means that the amount of gold they got from Baron was like enough to give them like a 10k gold lead instead of just like a 5k gold lead. Not that 2 towers is worth 5,000 gold, but overall, the play pattern would have been more favorable for you guys at the very least to get those towers. They wouldn't have been able to auto shove mid on you like they did. And they didn't have to worry about clearing out the side lanes because no one was actually bothering to take out the towers. So inhibitor is actually worth a lot when teams are disorganized, so want to say that was worth it for them, and yeah, Nid is pretty fed, so wouldn't feel too bad about that. This is more a failure of your team overall at this point. Like I was saying, you should have already been in a point to win the game before any of this other stuff happened. So it seems like this Nid just really controlled mid on you guys the whole game. Overcommitting on Renekton. Renekton diving tower, holy shit, dude. That guy is a man. What is this? Go with your team, man. You barely have a 50 CS lead on this Pantheon, and you're still prioritizing farming. You should have a 100 CS lead on this Pantheon. Your mistake is letting your team trade away their health bars for free. You guys are never in a position to be able to team fight them. Not even reactionary. You shouldn't have been top, you should have been on this. Or with the team. And flanking Nidalee is not necessarily a terrible call, but maybe when he's this fed. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a mistake. So you threw a Mumu to the wolves, and you wasted Shen ult instead of clearing bottom, which is what you should have been doing before. These are just mistakes you're making after the fact. I think it's a lot harder for you guys to win the game in this position, but it's still possible. Yeah, if you didn't make any mistakes at all, you still probably would lose from this situation. But the point remains the same. Minimize your mistakes and maximize your win conditions. I wouldn't have Zanya'd the Mumu or the Kennen ulti. He's not going AP, so that ulti only stuns you. It doesn't really do that much damage. And since you didn't manage this bot wave, you're just getting forced back into the tower every single time. What you guys needed to do is like shove this wave out to maybe like here, kill all the minions out to here. Your wave shoves up a little bit and it eventually shoves back in. But by the time the last super minion wave hits your inhibitors like respawn and you're just fending off the last wave, and then you can group again. You should never be going top if you don't have a teleport. Just let Mumu clear that. You should be mid or bottom at all times right now. Not skirmishing 2v2 in your jungle.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
Everyone on your team is always doing something different.
Red team's inhibitor is respawning soon.
Yeah, so I had some super in-depth analysis on my first cut of this review, so just to give you an idea, I ended up realizing that some of it was a little bit redundant, so I reshot this. Hopefully I didn't gloss over anything too quickly. If there's anything you didn't understand, please let me know, and I'll clarify that for you. I want to say that fighting them in your jungle is going to be a loss at this point in the game, so that was your mistake here, and you should just play on your towers. Like, make them force that last inhibitor down and fight them for it. So dude, that Renekton is such a man.
Red team's turret has been
Okay, so they just end the game.
Red team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
Okay, thanks for submitting your replay. If you want me to do another one, just let me know, and probably get to another one next week.